Good morning, children. December 25th. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sawadika. She likes to pop her head in. Oh, thank you. Okay. Been an interesting morning, evening. One of the things I like to do here in Thailand is just get on my Maps app and type in, restaurant near here. Thai restaurant because she likes Thai food, and we've hit on some really good places by doing that. Cheap, good eats. Both of us were really happy. Well, it backfired last night. This place was dirty. They had a dog outside. She said she was pretty sure they let it stay in when they lock up at night. Let the dog, the dirty, mangy street mutt. It's not like a cute little puppy like in the States. It's a street dog. Dirty as hell. And I had chicken, and it was probably a week old. And my iron stomach has let me down yet again, and I got food poisoning a second time in a month. And I remember that's never happened to me in my life, 57 years on the planet. And now I've had it twice in the last 2 days. And the first time was my fault with the milk and the butter, but it didn't have good reviews. It was like 3.6 stars. That was my first mistake. She walked in. She didn't want to go. I was like, okay, we'll go to 7-Eleven and get dumplings. I'm happy with microwave dumplings, and you can find something. She's like, no, we'll go. Should have gone with the first instinct. So she only ate a little bit because it wasn't good, and so she didn't get as sick as me, but she did also have diarrhea, cha-cha-cha, and throwing up. No, she didn't throw up. She didn't throw up. She just had 3-4 bouts with the bowl. I'm actually using the bathroom as the backdrop here due to the episode. So I've thrown up twice because I ate a bunch of chicken. I ate more than she picked at it a little bit, and I ate 2 pieces of chicken. So here's the problem. We have a flight to Pattaya today at 5:30 p.m. It's like 10 something now, because that's the other problem when you're sick is you can't sleep because you got to keep getting up and go to the bowl, right? And you never know when it's going to strike you. So I threw up once last night, but like I forced myself to stay there until I thought my stomach was empty. So then I finally did get some sleep, slept in late till 9:30, 10, which still wasn't enough because, I got maybe 1 or 2 hours sleep during the night. But anyway, take what you can get, right? Sleep what you can when you can, eat what you can when you can, except if it's in a dirty place with a dog outside. And I thought I was fine. She's like, how are you feeling? I said, I'm fine. I'm good. No problem. And then we were talking about the place. Just the thought of the dirty chicken made me lucid again. And once again, I stood there just like waiting, trying to get everything up and out of me because we got plane tickets, we got hotel reservations, we got rent a car. So I am a persistent little fucker. And so even though I don't feel good, and probably the best thing for me and the smartest thing would be to extend our stay another night here and just get well. Stay in Chiang Mai, whatever, the week that we were going to stay here. We were going to go back to Pai Tuesday night. Just start that now would probably be the smartest thing. But, there's a part of me just never quit, never surrender like I talk about. And I do what I talk about. So we're right now, unless something changes, unless, I throw up again, because we're getting up to checkout. Pretty soon we're going to have to check out from the hotel, and we've got nothing to do except get to the airport, which is 2 kilometers away, by 4:30, an hour before the flight. So I'm not sure what we're going to do at that time. If we both felt well, there's plenty we could do. There's a big airport, Central Festival Airport right across the street. So we could do, mall shopping, but when you feel like you're going to dribble out of your pants or any moment, and or, 1 minute you're fine and just talking like this, and the next you're hunched over the bowl, launching hot stomach juices out. It's a touchy situation. It's a touch and go. So As of right now, I plan to proceed, as crazy as it is, hoping that the 2 times I puked last night and this morning are enough, and that's it. And it's all out. All the bad stuff's out. And I haven't eaten anything. I didn't have coffee. I actually got on the internet, since this is the second time it's happened to me. I'm like, well, I might as well learn how to friggin' treat it other than just suffer and let it pass, which is what they say on the internet, suffer and let it pass. But then they also said sip cold water, clean cold water. And since I got Thai chicken that made me sick, I didn't want to drink the tap water here in the condo hotel. It's a condo. It's a series of condos, but they also rent out the rooms on a nightly basis, like what we're doing. Nice little setup. It's got a TV, living room, kitchen when you first walk in, fridge. They have appliances and stuff. Almost, it's kind of like an Airbnb in that it has kitchen appliances, a stove, toaster, microwave, coffee maker. The weird thing is, every time I book, I use Agoda, A-G-O-D-A, which is a travel site here in Southeast Asia, and they usually have better prices. Not by a lot, but they usually have better prices. That's why I book with them. And they always ask you down at the bottom of the booking slip, do you want 2 twin beds, 2 small beds, or 1 big one? I always say 1 big one. I said 1 big one, and we showed up, and there was 2 small ones. So we slept like a married couple last night, which is to say, 3 feet apart on 2 twin beds, which was just as well because I was, trying to get comfortable and sick and all that stuff. So she took one for the team and left the light on so I could get to the bathroom. So she didn't sleep because she can't sleep with the TV light on. So she certainly can't sleep with the room light on. And finally, around 2 or 3 o'clock, I was like, that's not cool. I can't. So I just turned off the light, and she didn't complain. She went immediately to sleep. So she got a few more hours than I did, which is cool. So that's it. That's the update. Real quick, I'll do the Christmas thing. I know, once again, it's going to be faith, religious, but it is what it is. Christmas means different things to different people. December 25th, the greatest of all miracles is the power of simple faith. Because faith is an essential element of Christianity, the New Testament is filled with references to the power of faith. In the book of Matthew, Jesus told the unbelievers that if they but had faith as a grain of mustard seed, they would have the power to move mountains. And with faith, nothing would be impossible for them. In the book of Mark, he told the faithful that all things are possible to him that believeth. In biblical teachings, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. In short, faith is the active expression of a willingness to believe in that which we cannot prove. It is indeed a miracle. Well, there you go. I kind of knew that was coming Christmas Day, which, like I said, started as a religious holiday and is now, what can you buy and who can you buy for, and, it's out of control. My mom was not wealthy by any means. She was making $9 grand a year with 2 kids to raise. My dad left when I was 3, and separated, and then they divorced about 3 years later. And by the time that my sister and I were in our late teens, early 20s, Christmas morning would last like 2 hours of opening gifts. It was just ridiculous. And so at some point we stopped and looked and said, what are we doing? Like, we're all caught up in the buying thing. So let's do 3 presents apiece, small, medium, and large. Like a really good big gift that you want, high ticket item. And back then, high ticket item was $200. You know what I mean? Like, she made $9 grand a year. And we were teenagers, when I worked at a summer camp, I shoveled snow, whatever. So, we didn't have a ton of money. And then a medium gift, maybe, I don't know, $40, $60, something like that. And then like a small little cheapy gift. But, the point was, it was something that you knew that person wanted or something that that person liked. The real coup was to get them something that they didn't ask for or talk about, but that they like. Because that means the person a little bit and some thought went into it. So those always went over bigger. My mom would get pissed when my small or medium gift would make my sister happier than the big gift that, because she spent money. And she's like, I spent a lot of money, you ought to be happy. But it's more about knowing the person and what they like. And what again was. Now it's more just like what we used to do, which is like outspend each other and who can have the most presents under the tree, you know, which is not what it was originally intended to be, but that is what it is. So that's it. I read the paragraph. I feel like shit. Like I said, if I was smart, which apparently I'm not, I would just hang out here another day and just lay in bed. That's what I feel like doing, because you never know when it's going to hit. I was sitting there talking to her, sitting on the two little twin beds, and I was just like, yeah, I feel good. I feel fine. I don't have a fever. I don't have this. I don't have that. And then 10 seconds later, I was in for round 2. So crazy. I don't feel pain. I think I mentioned that before. I have very tolerance to pain. And that's been a blessing over the years. It really has helped me and do my job and everything, you know, consulting work. But in times like this, it's like I'm sick and I can't get a read on my body to know how sick I am. I literally know I'm going to puke 5 or 10 seconds before I puke. So like I said, the rest of the day is going to be interesting, because I think I'm done. I hope I'm done. But who the hell knows? Not me. So, Merry Christmas. Once again, I'm ahead, so it's Christmas Eve for you guys when I'm recording this. One of my favorite memories of Christmas Eve was we'd put the tree up, get all the lights on it, light it up at night. And so the only lights in the room were the tree. And, you know, we decorated all different ornaments. Some ornaments went on every year. Some were changed up for different themes. And then we would have like a glass of apple cider and some cheese and crackers, you know, pepperoni, salami, whatever. And my mom was into country music, so she had an album from Glenn Campbell, a country, great guitar player. I mean, talk about underrated guitar player. He was the Eddie Van Halen of country music. He was Brad Paisley before there was Brad Paisley, you know, back in the 70s. Anyway, he did a Christmas album. I think he did 2, but the one I'm talking about, he just did standards. And his voice, he was a, you know, what they called back then a balladeer, a very smooth crooning voice, like a Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra type thing, but in my opinion, better than either Frank or Bing. I mean, just he had a beautiful voice. So not only was he a great guitar player, but he was a great singer. So he did Rhinestone Cowboy, if you remember that song, like a rhinestone cowboy, and he did By the Time I Get to Phoenix, Wichita Lineman. I mean, he had quite a few country hits back in the 70s, 80s. But this album we would play every Christmas Eve and have our munchies and watch the tree. And I would just sit there for hours and hours, just watching the lights on the tree and chilling and having some snacks. And that, more than any gifts or more than anything else, that was, and you should take a listen to that album. It's up on YouTube. They have fucking advertisements because they're money-grubbing pricks, but you can still, you know, if you don't mind clicking through, skip this ad 10 times or however many songs are on the album. It's a really good album, you know, especially Christmas time. So that's it for today. Let's hope I can, what we used to say in the Navy, maintain your watertight integrity. Let's hope I can keep my asshole closed up and my mouth closed up for the next whatever. We'll be at the hotel in Bang Sane at like 7 p.m., 7 or 8 p.m. So I got a long stretch where I need to keep everything in my body. Let's hope. Let's hope and pray, children. All right. Talk to you later. Have a great Christmas. I hope you all get everything you want for Christmas, and that doesn't mean gifts.